Welcome back, everyone. It's time for our first newscast of the year here at DHS. It's a new school year and there's lots to get caught up on this week. Lots of changes happened over the summer, and one of the most noticeable is the new Career Center at the top of the hill. Students walked in for the first time last week and have started getting settled into their new surroundings. The new building has more space and more modern setting for classes, but at the same time, there's still some finishing touches taking place. Students say they're excited to be part of the new Career Center.
It's a lot more open space, and I feel like it's going to be a lot better in the long run, but it is kind of bittersweet.
It's a lot easier to navigate, and I feel like it looks a lot nicer, and it was really good.
Probably in the nicer classrooms. We're going to have nice shops coming, and it's right up the hill, so I mean, we don't have to get on a bus and waste class time.
And I've noticed that even like the shops and stuff for welding, for ag, they've got a good layout on that too, and it looks really good so far. So I'm excited to see what they do in the future with it too.
The other big project over the summer was the new gym floor at the high school. It took all summer to complete between installing it and finishing the floor with all the markings. Only 2 other high schools in the state have a floor like this one since it's engineered to prevent common sports injuries. Coach Epps says the players should notice a big difference during practices and games.
Game-wise, I don't think it'll make any difference. As far as the players, the feel of the floor will be the biggest thing. You know, before there were so many dead spots, and, you know, people that have played in the past can tell you specifically, is that dead spot still in the corner? You won't be able to do that with this because you'll be able to feel it. It's got a little bit more bounce than the old floor. And then overall, I think over time you'll be able to tell because injuries hopefully will get less, especially with like knees and joints and things like that.
The first game on the new floor will be on Tuesday night. Football homecoming will take place this year even though the team is competing at a junior varsity level. The date has been set for Monday, September 30th, and we'll have more information as the date gets closer. Mr. and Mrs. DHS is going to take place on Saturday, October 19th, and we'll have more information on that event over the next month as well. Picture Day is coming up in a couple weeks. Interstate Studios will be here on September 18th to take your pictures. A reminder that everyone, including seniors, has to have their picture taken, even if you are not placing an order. And speaking of seniors, Project Graduation has a meeting coming up next week that will be on Thursday in the high school cafeteria. And the last date to remember is for senior apparel and class rings. Johnson's will be here on September 23rd during lunch hours to go over the items for seniors and class rings with the sophomore class. The first fundraiser of the year kicked off this week. FFA is raffling a whole hog that will be delivered freezer ready. Stoddard County Seed and Feed bought Peyton's hog at the fair auction this summer and donated it back to the chapter. Tickets are $5 each, or you can get 5 tickets for $20. The drawing will be September 10th, and that's the news and announcements this week. Here's our sports analyst, Corey Haygood.
I appreciate that, Mr. Jones. Fall sports are in full swing, and the football team took part in a jamboree last Friday at Chaffee. The team is only competing on the JV level this season as they try to rebuild back up to the varsity level. It's also the first year for Coach Hampton, who spent the last 4 years as an assistant coach at Sykeston. We asked him about some of the goals for the team this year.
Goals, first off, is to have a winning JV season. I don't know if that's happened yet with Doniphan, but that is the goal we've got this year. And then, you know, a short-term goal is just for our kids to get better each and every day on and off the field.
First football game is coming up at Tuesday night here at home against Saxony Lutheran. Other teams also took part in jamborees this week. Fall baseball is back this year, and the Dons took part in one last night at Neelyville. They played 2 games, once against Neelyville and one against Cooter. The softball team took part in a jamboree this past weekend at Kelly. The Donettes played in 2 games and won their first game and lost the second by just 1 point. Their first regular season games are in a tournament taking place today and tomorrow at Jackson. The volleyball team played 3 preseason games at a jamboree in Couch Tuesday night. They ended up winning 2 out of the 3, and the Donettes will have their first home game Tuesday night against East Prairie. And that is it for the sports this week. Here's your very own Addie Jackson for the weekend weather forecast.
After a week of hot weather, it looks like we're in for some cooler temperatures this weekend. There's a good chance for some storms on Saturday with a high of 83, a slight chance for more rain on Sunday and a high of 84. And then Labor Day will be partly cloudy and 84. That's it for the newscast this week. Thanks for watching and have a great 3-day weekend.